Hello and welcome to our Game Week 2 review, and we look ahead to Game Week 3 with Whitley.
Hiya guys.
You're watching Whitley's Fantasy Football Show.
You're a hacker, Big Lewandowski, I know it.
Yeah, you're watching Whitley's Fantasy Football Show.
I'm above the average.
You're watching Whitley's.
Okay, let's go. So I had a pretty good week in Game Week 2. It was one of mixed emotions and slight frustrations, but we're going to run through it. Firstly, I ended up with 80 points, and that is 11 points above the average. So I'm very happy about that, and we will run through my team. Let's see who's done me good. Starting off in goal, Alisson Becker. Now, I took a slight risk keeping this guy in goal. Got me another clean sheet in that 2-0 victory over Brentford. That is 6 points from the Liverpool goalkeeper. Very good result. Now, I made one transfer last week. I got rid of Kieran Trippier because the talks of Trippier leaving, I'm not convinced that he's going to be hanging around Newcastle too long, even though he did feature the other day coming off the bench. I don't know how much Trippier will be playing, and it's likely he could be off. So I got rid of Trippier and I bought in Anthony Robinson. Now, I think Fulham are going to be a very exciting team to watch this season, full of lots of goals, and Anthony Robinson did a very good job last season. I bought him in at quite a cheap price, which allowed me to get some more money in the bank. Fulham picked up a 2-1 victory, and Robinson got a return for me. Makes you feel like a good manager when you bring someone in and they instantly provide the goods. William Saliba for Arsenal, another 6 points. Again, Arsenal looking really good this year, especially at the back. David Raya definitely saved the day, but William Saliba, wonderful defender. Another clean sheet, another 6 points. Now, Vitaly Mykolenko at Everton. It's been a really tough start to the season for Everton, especially with that 4-0 defeat to Tottenham Hotspur. Vitaly Mykolenko, 0 points, blank. Not very happy about that one, but Everton have some exciting game weeks coming up, including a lot of greens. Next up, they're home to Bournemouth before taking the trip to Aston Villa. But then after that, they have 7 green game weeks in 8 games. So I'm going to stick with Vitaly Mykolenko for now. Now into my midfield, let's look at Alejandro Garnacho. Now this is quite a frustrating one. United losing 2-1 to Brighton in the early kickoff. Garnacho, again, I don't know why Ten Hag hasn't started him yet. I think he will start him in the next game weeks coming up. But when he did come off the bench, he always makes an impact, and he did because he scored. He had the ball in the net, but it was disallowed because Joshua Zirkzee decided to get his knee to it, and that ruled out Garnacho's goal. So Garnacho could have got me a good amount of points featuring from the bench, but he didn't. He got me 1 point. Not his fault. I'm sticking with Garnacho. He's probably going to start against Liverpool next week. Then we look at Mo Salah. Again, Liverpool with that 2-0 victory. Salah getting the second goal. He's had a really good start to the season, and I'm very happy with the Egyptian in my lineup. Callum Hudson-Odoi at Nottingham Forest. Now, this is a little bit of a frustrating one and someone that I'm starting to toy on potentially getting out of my squad, but I don't want to make the decision just yet. Now, Callum Hudson-Odoi did play 90 minutes in their 1-0 victory away to Southampton. I was hoping for more goals for Forest, but Southampton have defended very well, to be fair to them. Hudson-Odoi played 90 minutes, and there was also a clean sheet point in there as well. So I've come away with 3 points for Hudson-Odoi. I need to see some attacking returns from the winger, and I know he can produce. Him and Anthony Elanga cause the most amount of threat in midfield for Nottingham Forest. Now, they are home to Wolves, and they have 6 greens coming up in the next 8 games. They have a tough fixture away to Liverpool in a couple of game weeks' time, but I think for now I might stick with Hudson-Odoi, see how he's utilised. If he's still playing most of the game and he's starting to look like he might hit his straps, let's stick with him. I'm happy to be patient with Hudson-Odoi for now. Christopher Nkunku, this is another one that I'm thinking I could start to upgrade, and a lot of people are getting rid of Nkunku. But I'm not 100% sure at the moment. I think Chelsea have a fantastic run of fixtures coming up, and with the amount of options they have, he's not a guaranteed starter. I think he will have games where he's starting over the next few weeks, though, with Chelsea and Enzo Maresca likely to rotate those attacking midfield options. Joao Felix coming in and scoring on his second debut for Chelsea might just put a little hamper in the works as well. But for now, I think Nkunku has to stay in my team. I don't want to transfer out too many players at this stage. I know Christopher Nkunku will feature for Chelsea in the upcoming game weeks. I've just got to hope that he's got a few more starts. And with everyone transferring him out, if I can keep Nkunku in and he starts to get some attacking returns, I'll be a very happy manager. And then finally in midfield, Emile Smith-Rowe, a very popular pick for managers. More and more people are bringing Smith-Rowe into their side. I've had him from the start and he provided an attacking return. He scored in that game against Southampton. He got me 10 points, including those bonus points. Now looking up top, Newcastle and Alexander Isak. Now Isak had a frustrating game against Bournemouth in a game that finished 1-1. Again, a lot of managers are starting to boot him out and bring in the likes of Ollie Watkins, which is an option, and I could look at that, but I think for now I'm going to have to stick with Alexander Isak. He provided just 2 points, which is frustrating, but he did play 90 minutes. Now, Newcastle have a difficult run of fixtures coming up. They're home to Tottenham, which I could see being quite a high-scoring game, so potentially there's returns there for Isak, followed by an away trip to Wolves. After that, though, they face Fulham, City and Everton, games that aren't going to be the easiest, and likely that Isak might not get too many attacking returns. For me, I'm going to see how he goes in the next 2 game weeks, and then I might transfer him out depending on the situation. But now the big one, Erling Haaland. Thank God I captained him. I wish I'd hit the triple captain. A lot of people did, and it really did pay off. The Ling scoring a wonderful hat-trick. He got a load of points in that 4-1 victory over Ipswich. I captained him, so he's got me 34, which is a crazy amount. Taking the risk on triple captaining, I think, you know what, fair play to those of you who did triple captain, because it's very early to throw that card into the mix, but it probably wouldn't have worked out any better for you. So congratulations to you. Although I'm happy with him being my captain, 34 points. There are people in my league that don't have him at all. So I'm happy enough with how it turned out for me with Erling Haaland this week. Quick look at my bench. Not a lot to talk about here, really. I went a little bit heavy on my starting 11, and a lot of my players on the bench don't even feature. Wan-Bissaka is the one who does, the 1 point, but Matt Turner, no points. Neal Maupay, no points as well. He is going to be coming out of the squad. And then Barco at Brighton. Now, a lot of managers did have him in, so it was quite a surprise when he did get loaned out to Seville. He's going to have to go at some point. Now, let's have a quick look at my league. I am seeing some greens, which is wonderful news. It's quite tight, obviously, just 2 game weeks in. I'm currently sitting 5th. So positive moves there in my comical kickabout league. And now looking ahead to game week 3, I have some decisions to make in terms of my starting 11. But the big news is I have now got rid of Neal Maupay. Now, the striker options that I've been looking at were the likes of Chris Wood, João Pedro, but Brighton do have a difficult fixture coming up before having some greens. So I will look at some Brighton players in the future. But for now, I have gone and selected John Duran at Aston Villa. Aston Villa have 5 greens out of their next 7 game weeks. I think John Duran is a very good striker. Now, I know John Duran probably won't start over Ollie Watkins, but with Watkins missing those opportunities, and there's also the international break to take into consideration, John Duran could come in. But Aston Villa are looking good, even though against Arsenal they did lose. I thought they looked a very strong side, and I think they'll do well this year, fighting for top 4. So I think John Duran, he played in that game week 1 and game week 2. He got a goal, so he got that attacking return in game week 1. I think he's a good shout for the next few weeks. Away to Leicester, home to Everton, home to Wolves, and away to Ipswich. There's some real potential there for Aston Villa players to pick up some points. But apart from that, he is going to be my only transfer this week because I don't want to start taking hits. So I've got Alisson Becker away to Manchester United. Now, this is going to be a difficult game for Liverpool. It could end up being a 0-0. I think I don't really have another option. Matt Turner isn't playing for Nottingham Forest at the moment, so I'm going to stick with Alisson Becker in goal. Vitaly Mykolenko is now home to Bournemouth, so I'm hoping this will be the first positive points for Mykolenko at Everton. William Saliba home to Brighton. That could be a high-scoring game, but Arsenal's defence looks really solid at the moment. And then Anthony Robinson, I'm hoping for more positive points from him. They are away to Ipswich, so Emile Smith-Rowe in midfield as well. Hopefully more attacking positive returns from those two. Christopher Nkunku, I'm having to stick with in midfield. Just I don't have too many other options. Chelsea are home to Crystal Palace. So a lot of good green fixtures coming up for the Blues. Christopher Nkunku will feature, whether it's a starting place or from the bench. I'm hoping he'll get some starts. Callum Hudson-Odoi home to Wolves as well. Wolves just conceded 6 goals against Chelsea. I'm hoping home to Wolves, Forest will get a positive result and Hudson-Odoi will be a part of those attacking returns. Mo Salah, big game again. Liverpool away to Manchester United. He loves playing against United. And then I'm going with 3 up top. Erling Haaland, of course, my captain, away to West Ham United. Alexander Isak, I'm also sticking with. Newcastle home to Tottenham. I honestly could see that being a 2-2, 3-3, 4-4 even, which would be exciting to watch. And then lastly, the new signing, John Duran, coming in away to Leicester. So My decision to make is, do I bench Alejandro Garnacho or do I keep him in the starting 11 and bench someone else? I could potentially look at benching Christopher Nkunku. I think Ten Hag will start Garnacho against Liverpool, but is he going to provide some attacking returns? Who's got a higher chance of scoring, Nkunku or Garnacho? The decision I will make on that is if Nkunku starts for Chelsea when they play away to Servette later on this week. If he starts in that game, he's likely not going to start in the Premier League against Crystal Palace. But bring on game week 3. I'm really enjoying FPL as always. I feel more confident as a manager this year as well. I'll catch you next week for my game week 3 review and we look ahead to game week 4. But for now, good luck to you all. Thanks for watching and I will see you soon.